Good morning, beautiful souls. This is Christy here with Abundant Healing and Wellness. Happy November 22nd, 2021. So, I wanted to pop on here this morning and make sure that you guys are doing okay. I know that this last moon and lunar eclipse was really, really intense and powerful. And if some of you are not really aware of what's going on out there, if you're feeling extra irritable today or this week, uh, of course, reel it back in and put yourself in check. However, do give yourself some leeway. It doesn't mean you could go around being crabby to people, but it does mean that do understand that it is normal for you to be feeling the way that you're feeling right now. The energy that has been pushed up is shadow, right? It's a collective ascension and awakening. And this was all about the collective shadow. Now, a shadow sounds scary, but that's not really what it's meant for people to see. The shadow is the part of the subconscious mind, fears and things that you are, or excuse me, repressed, that you've repressed emotions and feelings that are bubbling to the surface so that you can look them in the face, your fears, your anxieties, whatnots, your characters, good and bad, will be brought to the surface so that you can look at them and analyze them. And it's a possible, or it's an opportunity for you to grow. So, if you feel like you're wondering why maybe you have emotions or memories pop up from the past, from traumas or things, that's why. Because this is your time to heal those wounds. See, people often feel like, oh, if I don't think about it, then it doesn't have control over me. That's not how that works. You actually have to face those things. That's the shadow, the repressed emotions that you have stuffed away. These are things that you'll be purging right now. So know that that's normal. Know that you're not going crazy. So I'm sending you a lot of love. If any of you are interested in any help with shadow work, you're talking to the queen of shadow work right here. I just completed a 10-year life cycle. And not everyone knows my story, but if you went back far enough, maybe 4 years ago, last year, I do one every year, you'll understand why I have abundant healing and wellness. Because I worked very diligently to heal myself from quite a bit of trauma. So I wanted to let you guys know that it's okay that you're feeling the way that you're feeling if it's uncomfortable, and just give yourself some leeway and rest and recuperate. That was one of the biggest things that Source told me this last few days. Is actually on Friday, I was attempting to work, and I previously have been pretty much a workaholic. But this last year has really shown me that I don't have to work so hard anymore. I really don't. Because, there are things in life that are important, there are things that are not. So I just needed to change my perspective. Anyway, so Source forced me to rest this last 2 days. That's all I got was rest. And the things that came to me during that period was information that my guides want me to talk to you guys about, which is the difference between grounding, balance, and being still in the moment. So, grounding, as you know, is like, okay, for me, when I do a meditation and teach you guys, it's like tree roots from my bottom or from your feet going down into Mother Earth, holding you safe and secure. That makes you feel very grounded. Balance is where you got your emotions and you can take them now and you can balance them. There's a neutrality, I guess is the best way to put it, a neutrality. And so there is no huge flux. You're beyond grounded, you're balanced, right? You could also go internal and say balance of uh, masculine and feminine within. But when it comes to being still, that was very difficult for me because, I meditate all the time and I do practice stillness. However, Source instructed me that I hadn't been doing stillness as much as I could, should, needed to. Anyway, so for 2 days, Source had me practice just simply being. What does that mean? A state of nothingness. I've never actually completely experienced a state of nothingness. There's always something in my mind, even during meditation. So people think you're supposed to be quiet during meditation. That's not true. Your mind actually, you're the driver of the vessel when you go into a meditation. So for me, I get a lot of answers when I'm in meditation. Uh, but anyway, being still. So Source had me just sit outside and just be still. There was a grasshopper, so I just watched the grasshopper. If there was nothing going on, I would just listen to the breeze. And I wasn't allowed to, well, I mean, I had free will. I chose to follow the instructions of my guide, but I wasn't allowed to do any work. I wasn't allowed to do anything other than journal, like automatic writing and painting. So I started a new painting, of course. Anyway, so the being still, that was extremely challenging. So I reminded myself every time that I started to get busy or monkey mind or physically active, Source and my guides would say, be still. And so I would sit. And at first it was very hard. But then after about, I don't know, maybe 6 tries of just being nothingness, uh, it was very relaxing. It was a state of calm and relaxation that I don't believe I've ever experienced before in my life. I've been in a state of fight or flight for over 50 years. So for me to experience a state of nothingness, yeah, I did say that. 50 years of fight or flight. And I am meditate, but had never obtained that point of peace before. So this week, it would be a good idea for you possibly to consider trying a state of nothingness. Simply just being for a day, if it's possible, or even a few hours. And that literally means nothing. Like, I guess a great way to explain it would be is if you see these walls behind me, they're yellow. So for me to get into a state of nothingness, just to stare at that wall and nothing is in my head other than the color yellow. And eventually that dissipates. And that's when Source comes in and gives you answers and guidance. That's when you get your new ideas. This whole week is all about, well, actually, this next 18 months is all about your solar plexus, right? Or in the solar plexus, that's your creativity. So this whole, especially this week, is all about your creative juices and just allowing these new ideas and opportunities to come to you. And if you get to that point of nothingness, you're going to hear those answers really loud and clear. There's not going to be any questions or doubt. There's no more fear. All those things are behind you. So I would suggest, even just for a few minutes, getting to a state of nothingness. And that doesn't mean falling asleep either. That means just being. And you'll know when you get to that point because it's like a zen that is beyond belief. Breath work will help you with that as well. If you don't know anything about breath work, there's pranayama. However, I find that Wim Hof is pretty amazing. He has an app that you can put on your phone for breath work. Wim Hof, Wimhof, 2 words. He's a German guy. He's the Iceman. I'm sure you've heard of him. Anyway, so this week I'm sending you much love and light, and I hope that you guys are really taking advantage of these energies that have been coming in and releasing the shadow as well as pulling in that creative juice, right? And two, I don't know if you noticed, but the more that you meditate, I was reading an article about reverse aging. And I don't know, but it seems to me I'm 53 and I still look pretty dang young. So if nothing else, you could get into a state of nothingness and it'll be good for your skin. This is so I'm sending you much love and light from Christy here at Casa Luna Amor, which is what I've dubbed this beautiful place. And excuse me, I had a tickle in my throat. So I'm sending you much love again from Christine Abundant Healing and Wellness. As it is above, is below. As it is within, is without. I'll see you guys very soon with some more information. So work on simply being in a state of being today. Bye bye, guys.